Good evening. How is everyone doing? How are we? How is family? The kids? It's our whatever. Everything going on. It's just so funny that 2021 we are still going back to a whole lot of things. But I know that I keep saying it. I tell you from the first day we started this show that this year is going to be a year of rewards. Yes, I still stand by it because it's a scripture that God gave me. And I believe that even with the beginning of the year looking so challenging already, the Lord is going to reward us for all the pains, all the loss for 2020. He's going to us in 2021 by His grace. My name is Aderonke Live, and thank you for joining me on Aderonke Live Show. I have my friend, my sister, a wonderful colleague, yes, and so many things. And I'm sorry I had to drag Tokwe to the show this evening because I had a last minute feedback from my guest that she wouldn't be able to make it because she was under the weather. She was not feeling too well. She even wanted to still try and join her sick bed. I said no, that would be too insensitive. So I said, Abba, I have great friends. I have people that I know. They can still, tackle the issue that we want to discuss and, still bring something fantastic on the table. So who else? Oh, my darling friend, Adepeju, all the names you can give her. Mrs Dee, Dinyo. Hey, thank you, Tokwe. Thank you for joining me on the show. It's always
I'm happy to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for the impromptu call, but you gave in. I know you have a whole lot of work to do, but I couldn't have asked for someone else but you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. So everyone I have with me, Adepeju. Our two names joined together. Temitope Adepeju. Everything joined. Dio, and she's popularly known as Mrs Dee. She's a teacher. She's an educationist. She's a consultant. She's fantastic. Anything about education is her passion. Of course, I know she's also in the field on humanitarian as well with me. We do it together. And she's a mom of adorable, beautiful Tiara and Tife twin girls, and she is an admirable wife as well. And Tokba is there on the show with me. Usually on Aderonke Live Show, we talk about people's life journey, what inspired them, where they were, where they're going, or where they are, and what they want to give back. But today we are going to have a twist to it because my guest couldn't make it, and I was supposed to have a doctor come on the show, but she just fell ill at the last minute. She's fine, she's doing better, and we're glad that she'll be fine and she will join us by the grace of God for another episode. So Tokpa is joining with me. Tokpa is going to be discussing, on the challenges. We've had a lot of discussions about it, and I felt, Tokpa, should we not discuss about this on the show? A lot of parents could be facing the same thing. I'm a parent, she's a teacher, and so we'll be looking at it from those different angles. Temitope will be sharing with us as a teacher. She's a teacher, she's a mom, and she has to be teaching, online teaching because of COVID and all that. And she still has to attend to our kids as well and their needs. And these kids are also in school. So let's start from that, Mrs. Dee.
Okay.
How has it been? How has it been so far doing all of this together?
I mean, it's not been easy. Definitely not been easy. It's been in March. It will be a year of learning from home, of teaching from home. And who would have thought? Who would have thought that? It was like, just a month, 2, 3, and it ran into almost 12 months. And so we have had to do a lot of adaptation, a lot of growing along the way. But we move, like I always say, we just have to find a way to keep growing, to keep moving. It's not been easy, I must say, combining both work and home front with it. It's not been easy. And that is for a lot of other teachers out there as well.
Yeah.
But we are moving, yes.
Okay, let's parents, if you are online, if you're a teacher, I can see teachers they've joined us, the parapos, the teachers parapo. I can see Koforola Bada.
Yeah.
I can see Lizzie is a teacher, also an administrator. Yes, this is fantastic. I would like to see more teachers come online and share your experiences. And let's see in our own little area of influence how we can help you, because like I was saying in a group, that I feel so much for school owners. They have to pay for property, they have to pay for utility bills, and parents too have to do same, and it's just so I don't know what word to use. It's hard, but we know we'll scale through. It's almost over. I feel like my mom would say, it's when the thing becomes extremely difficult for man to handle that God steps in, and I can see him stepping in already to this terrible coronavirus that the world is experiencing, and it's going to be over very soon by God's grace. So I would like to see
Amen.
more people online. Share with us, put on the comment section your experience as a teacher coping with the students, online classes especially, try and see how, let's try and discuss it and see how also parents can also put their input as well, because parents complain a lot that they can't leave their jobs and be, staying with the kids. Some, you can count the minutes they can sit down. So how do teachers be able to sustain such kids, to still teach them online? It's alarming. It's alarming. So, Mrs. Dee, share with us the few challenges you've had, especially with kids that, kids are not on the same level. Some kids learn very
Yeah.
fast. Some have to take, a lot of effort. What are the challenges and the things that you put in place, how to improvise, to make it better?
But as a way of background, I teach in the primary school and I teach numeracy. Um, and though I studied English, that's story for another day. But and I teach upper upper primary year four class. So I'm teaching ages 8, 9 upwards, like that. So the challenges I'm saying it because challenges I face with obviously different from the challenges reception or somebody teaching a year 1 class will face, definitely because of the age difference. So I typically have children that are probably good with, they can navigate the online world easily, they can open their system, they know where to log on, they have, so I maybe don't have challenges in that. But of course, the most challenging is sustaining engagement. I mean, it's been very difficult to keep engaging the children. And as a teacher, which I consider myself a good one, for that matter, I have over time strained myself. I had to go way into looking for ways to engage. It's easy to just go there and just do what you and just go. But I'm not the kind of person that does that kind of. I don't like to do shabby work. I like to actually get the children. I find it challenging. So I said, okay, this is a challenge I can take upon myself. How do I get children engaged? How do I how do I make sure their Zoom lesson is interesting for 8-year-olds for an hour and maybe or 2? How do you actually keep them engaged like that without just talking non-stop? You have to you really have to be creative. There's a lot of creativity.
A few things you have to do. Share with us.
Yes, we go into, since we are learning online, one of the things I do is catch attention immediately. That's one of the, I mean, that immediately you log into you don't wait until and be catch your attention immediately, because if you spend time to talk about who is not in, who is not logging in, who is not, you need an activity like a starter, just like in school anyway, just like in class, when you start a lesson, you want to give them a task that is catching, that's engaging, maybe a sheet of paper, and ask them to a puzzle or something that would just start the engagement immediately. We do the same thing you do online. As soon as they log in, they already have an activity waiting for them. So you have, first of all, you have children at an interesting activity. So what happens is that the next class, they are eager to come into your class. They are not really sure what they will see initially. And number 2, they will settle down quickly without all the noise that comes with online learning, because a lot of noise that comes with it. Muting, and a lot of everybody trying to chip in something at the same time. Once you have captured and calmed down that class, then you can proceed into delivering that lesson. How do you want to deliver your lesson? How do I deliver my lesson? I would typically share my slide and ask questions and use my charts depending on what I am doing. I would typically engage in, I use Zoom. So of course, the features of them may be different from other online activities, online platforms that's being used for teaching. So it depends on what you are actually using that you can then engage. But typically, I would then look for other interesting online. I have like a reward system. Like, okay, let's get this done, let's get this worksheet done, then we play this online game or we play this online activity we really love. There's so many of them out there now that I have to sign on actually to get to know what they are playing. Oh, they love this game. So I like, okay, so we get this done, we're able to we spend some time in doing this. They will ask you that as well. So, and your lesson itself, you're trying to deliver something. Don't forget, you're actually trying to teach. In this midst of, we are teaching different ability groups, children that will catch it, children that will, you will need to repeat, children that will not catch it. So really, one other thing I also tell myself is don't stress it. There will be times, there'll be good times, there'll be great times, like, oh, this lesson went great. And there'll be times that is not just going, it's not just, you are just like trying to just get it over and end that class. So they'll just do what you can do. And because one of the frustrating issue, which is global in Nigeria, is the national in Nigeria, is the network issues. And it's not just to me, yeah, to children as well. So you have them coming back in, going out. It's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating that. So I have just found ways to keep them engaged with the different online activities that I am exposed to as the digital learning coordinator of my school. So I'm exposed to so many online tools, those both free, both paid, and these are what I use to engage the children, get them working. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me ask this now. I like the fact that you mentioned that some will get me. I can see Mr. D. Mr. D.
Yeah.
Thank you. We see you. We see you. Thank you. Akilolu, we see you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Supporting all the way. Yes, so thank you. That's Mrs. D's husband online. Thank you. Thank you. So Toko, let's say this now. You mentioned that some kids get immediately, some you have to repeat, and some don't get it. I like that. I like the fact I said some don't get it. So what do you do with this? Because that's where a lot of parents have worries with online, teaching. How do you now help the kids that do
not get it? I like the question.
What do you do to those ones? Do you give them extra online classes, or you have to visit homes, or what do you do?
Okay. I actually I appreciate that question, because what you do with those kind of children, it depends on what your passion is as a teacher, really. It depends on what you are interested in. If you're not interested in, you're just teaching, and you probably not have any, you won't do anything about it. So what do I do? Let me focus on what I do. I spend time to look at what went well in my class. Who got it? If I have a majority that got this right, based on my own assessment for learning, how I assess the learner, I know that, okay, they got the major things right. Okay, I have like 90%, the 10%, which I would know. Don't forget, I know the student, I know their abilities. So I'll probably know already over this online learning. I know the children that are actually struggling with online learning. There are some, let me say, there are some that when they were in school, they were struggling with learning. But online, they're actually learning, they're actually doing better online. Yeah, the statistics shows that we can, there's some children are doing better online. Why? Because there's no pressure of school. Yes, there's no pressure, there's no peer pressure. The mountain of work has reduced, so they can take their time. And there are those children that are very like meticulous. So when they do one after the other, they're able to actually do better. They may be the minority, but they're doing better. We also have those children that were very good in school. I mean, the A flyer, the I flyers, and all that. But in online, they are coming down. We have that as well. Majority of children in that category as well. So as a teacher, I know my children. I know where they are coming from, and I know where they are heading. And one of the things I do most of the time, I do a lot of pep talk. I am encouraging, I'm talking, I'm having a relationship with them. I am calling them on one-on-one. I'm firing them up. Let them, you can do this. It's nothing too hard for you to do. You are capable of doing this. And then if I don't have children that I teach a particular class, they do not get this concept. I am setting up an individual appointment for that child. That's the only way to work. That's the only way that I learn. I'm setting up, and even if it's just 15 minutes, I'm setting up that individual appointment for that child, or I'm getting in touch with the parents, or I differentiate the child's learning. Immediately, the next class, I'm putting them into another group, and I'm saying, okay, you are going to do this way. I'm going to break it down for you. And yes, it's much work for me. That's where the work comes from. That's why I say it's your passion as a teacher. If you are not that passionate, you are not going to, because it's more work. You are doing extra work that you may not get paid for. So you are spending time to make sure that at least understand the basics of what you are. The child may not go to the extension, like the challenge part, but the core of that lesson, I want you to understand it this way. You can solve 5 questions. The rest did 20, but you did only 5. You have done well. You know, that kind. So that for me, that's what I'm talking about. So you are spending time, you are analyzing each of your lessons. You are looking at the children and saying, and it also informs your next lesson. You know, okay, this child didn't get it. In my next class, I would either, call him more, make him explain, and as my explanation, I am having that child in the back of my mind, and I'm calling that child. Do you understand this? Can you solve the next question? Would you try? Okay, do you get my point? So it is an ongoing process. You are supposed to be spontaneous as you are thinking, planning way ahead and thinking beyond the children, knowing that this child will understand this concept. I know, and then one of the things I'm also trying to do now, which I could do in school, but a bit difficult to do online, is when you pair the children. You have someone that understands it, and the child can actually explain to another child. It's a bit challenge to do that online, but there's a way you can work around it if you have understanding.
So in school, you actually do like student teacher for them, like a student that understands it. You now put them in pairs.
Yes, yes, that's a learning strategy. Yeah. In your class, I hope teachers are listening. What you can do really is that when you have taught a lesson and you realize that you're getting frustrated, where they don't understand your language. You have used all the Teletubbies language you have tried to your life, and you're not getting it. Find somebody. This will always work. Find a child that understands and can speak. The child may use exactly what you say, but somehow that child will get it. And so you
see what Toby said. Toby is saying you want him to go back to school.
Go back to school. Yeah. One of the things I've learned how to teach today. I wasn't taught that way. I also learned it over time. I realized that by doing and by focusing on the children. I think if you focus on the child and you say, how do I make this child learn? You will find that way.
And I like it because they might even repeat the same thing you said, but the fact that it's a child like them saying it, they'll be like, if Toby can know it, why can't I know it? It's kind of very relatable for them. I like that method. That's fantastic.
And most importantly, they may remember what their mate said.
One of the key teachers mentioned. That's beautiful. I love that. That's good. So let me ask again now. I never saw that angle until you mentioned it, that there's some kids that were not doing in school and found out that they are doing online, they are doing well. Do parents know this? Do their parents know this? And they're doing well in school, not doing so well online?
I have an example, a very good one, actually. And she struggled in school, as I was at last session. And I know the challenges she was facing in class, and that's because, of course, it's a child that probably has special needs. Do you understand my point? She has needs that the volume of work in school put pressure on that need. Put pressure on that need. So it was just a lot for her to, and then with the whole stress of coming to school, extracurricular, so like the routine of school, the routine of coming to school, into next period, next period, almost like no, the only time you have is break. That so what I'm saying is that for that child, for that kind of child, when she got online, it was calm. She calmed down to learn. And this, I did say that the pressure was not as, of course, the pressure was not as much. It wasn't as if she didn't have work to do, but she could do it at her own time. This was a child that was willing to learn. She's willing to do it. It was the pressure. It was that when the pressure of school was taking off, where you are not running the next period, you are basically sitting at the table.
She's now home. She's in a very comfortable
home. Yes. She actually did better. She actually sold. We actually saw a potential, like, and she was got those kind of children that felt that I prefer to learn at home. I think I prefer to learn at home. I rather stay at home to learn, you know. Of course, I think she has changed her mind now because but there was significant change in our academic performance, and that shows, and statistics have shown that the children, I mean, there was a study that they took in the UK or the US. I read it up online, and they actually questioned or interviewed children, different categories of children, and some of them did say that they actually are doing better in school. They actually understand their lessons better, because again, remember, as a teacher, you're also teaching the main thing. You are not doing too many scenarios on online. You are going straight to the point, and you are teaching it. So those type of children that just want you to tell us is A, right? Is A. I don't want to say A is after B, or they will understand, learn better. And so they actually said that they are improving in academic. Now, this was earlier in the pandemic. Now, of course, right now in this situation where all we have going is sheer determination. Like, I'm just determined. So what I am doing with my children is just to up their motivation. I'm talking to them, trying to see them see, because if you have a motivated child, then online learning will go smoothly. But you need them, like, they need the pep talk. They need to know that they can do it. Okay, get this done. All right, you can get this done. Don't worry, we're going to get out of this pandemic together. We're in this together. So that gives them some sort of like, okay, yeah, I have to do it, or I have no choice but to succeed online as well.
Oh, thank you.
But then we have those children. Let me mention those children that are struggling, that they were high flyers and then are currently struggling.
Online, they're struggling, yes.
Those are the ones that I really feel a lot for, because it's the personality that show you. Of course, you know that these children are better when they work with them, when they are there physically and they are moving, they are talking, they are writing the answers and all of that. And these are the children
now in one place, the activity kids.
They need. It's not online. It's not working for them. And the only thing I advise so parents of such children is to get support. I will emphasize on support rather than try to do it by yourself. You need to understand that the child is learning. The child's a kinesthetic learner and will rather like to be in class or doing things and not. And those kind of children are the ones that actually are currently struggling right now after 9 months. They are currently struggling because it's so difficult to say, I'm still online. Can I just get out of this place? It's difficult to, so those people, pep talk work more, is a support system. Something that lets them say, okay, you're only going to sit for 20 minutes. Okay, you can stand up. A support system at home will help that child. Just encourage.
I have one of those, and I can say that I had to do an home teacher. Because online wasn't just working. He couldn't just every minute I want to go and wee. He just had to play with something. He had to interact. He's not the sit still child, He's a very creative child he learns on the move, and so it was really difficult when I realized, because I was sitting down with them all the time, but I noticed that I wasn't getting the result I wanted, unlike the other one that was picking up. He is younger.
So he was
He's always looking at the teacher, and the teacher is always like, sit down, go. Why are you going again? So it was just frustrating, and I was like, this is not working. So when I did the home teacher thing, it made sense. It made more sense. Just had to put more precautions in place, and of course, it was more expensive, but it made more sense. There was a better, there was a better change and adjustment. And I know that a lot of parents are might be going to. So this personality of these kids are showing with the online learning, and some parents don't know their kids. That time that you're not knowing to understand your kids. You need to understand the one that can how to manage and bring out the best in them with their personality. I love that example of that child that couldn't cope in school, but online, that tells you that so many things that we don't know about our children and we can discover, and life happens and we are seeing how do you ensure your children take notes? How do you ensure they take notes?
Okay, so maybe I shock you. I don't expect my children to take notes. Note taking for me is not learning. I mean, if the note taking you are talking about is like typically writing on the screen, writing on the board in school and taking notes. As a 21st century teacher, note taking is dead. What we call is dead time. There's no learning and writing, copying down note from the board. Do you understand? I'm talking about this physically. Just in case there's any child listen to me and all they do is to write notes on the board. There is no learning there. There's no learning in you copying notes from the board or from your textbook. But however, if you are talking about taking notes on online, maybe I'm teaching and I expect them to take notes. Then first of all, then year 4. So if I'm teaching a lesson and I teach numeracy, so there's no note in my class, but I also teach geography. So what I do is that all the notes that they need to read is online, is digital. So that's where, and because you want to develop a self-reliant child, a child that can self-learn actually. And amazingly, we have young children that are doing that already. That's the plus of online learning actually. You have children that are already independent. They know where to go. They know how to do their research. I mean, those ones that online suited them. That that's like I have those very disciplined ones. They may be few, but we have them that they are ready. They are in class early. They take their attendance. They do their work. They finish it. They tell you, "I finished. I need more." I mean, those people are just like perfect. Like, where are you from? Yeah. Can we just have,
What do we call them? They're pickles.
They're just there. And so they make the research on their own. You ask a question, they're already giving you different options and how to answer it. Amazing. So what is that development?
Wait, Mrs Dee, let me go with the angle that Kofo is bringing. I think I've asked you before. My writing became very I have a good writing. I know my handwriting is very beautiful, but I realized that my handwriting became very beautiful when I kept writing, and we write a lot of notes in school, though not primary school anyways. In secondary school we write a lot of notes. The teacher give us notes to write, and I'm also part of the kids that go back to read. I'm not the first type of child.
Understand. Yes, I understand.
I'm the type that go back to read, so I use my notes, and the writing tool helped me a lot, because when I use my own handwriting, I easily remember. I even know the places I wrote them. Maybe that's what Kofo is doing now, because if you do just online, digital, everything, how do we help their writing skills? How do we with some kids learn more, with writing. When they write it, it sticks longer.
I agree. I understand what you're saying, but we also want to. You need to understand that it's not everything you can do online.
Yes,
it's online.
Okay, I like that.
I'm going to be monitoring and writing. I can't do that online. I have to pick my battles. I'm focusing on what is most important here, which is the learning. So yes, I do. I actually have there's an exercise. We can ask them, solve this question in your exercise book. Write this down, or use. There are different ways to take notes. Anyway, you can use a mind map. You can put your topic in the center and put the different ideas around that topic. That's just note taking, And so, but if the key to taking notice to practice handwriting. You see that that's a different.
That's a
If it's
different
like,
thing.
okay, I'm taking notes to practice my handwriting, it's different. We have
Different.
handwriting subject that you
Yes.
actually will practice Nelson handwriting, and you can try to write. Even teachers, we are still trying to write well. I know that yes, it's a plus for children to write as long as they have good motor skills. It is for me, my personal belief in handwriting is
Yeah.
that it depends on your father or your mother. If your father has a good hand, maybe you eventually end up having one. I know my mother doesn't have a good handwriting. I'm pretty sure my girls have one.
I agree. I agree with you. I do agree. I won't think of my parents. I do agree. Yes, I
I
agree.
mean, I had a child once. I was teaching a child in the class in year 3, I think. And while we were treating handwriting, and he just said, "Well, Miss D, geniuses don't have good handwriting." And I looked at her, genius said, like, but Einstein, the handwriting is not actually great. And I said, yes, but don't worry, your own genius will have a good handwriting. Let's continue writing. But it's actually the bell that okay, handwriting, we're focusing on handwriting, making them write well. If they have good motor skills, the child can and you can read that the answer is legible. It's legible, it's clear, it's clean. Why not?
That's important. Yeah,
Why
thank
not?
you. I like that the learning is key for digital learning. Online learning is about the basic, which is the learning. Every other thing,
Learning.
Thank you for saying that. That will now link me up now to see where parents now need to come in place. I know it's challenging for a lot of parents. I'm a parent and I know it's very challenging. Most parents now work from home, so they have their jobs online too as well. Some companies even know when you log out of the system. They want you to still spend the quality time that you spend in the office to spend it at home as a parent to make sure that you're doing your work. HR now has to prove their own, that they are valuable, to the company. And so HR puts on training, have to put on online, they score you down, a lot of things. And so parents are being pulled there, being pulled there, and they have to pay for, some of them have to have their salaries cut into two, they have to pay for home services, different things. So as a parent, which you are as well, how would you, and there's still these children that they need to support with the ones that the online can't catch up with. You mentioned something earlier, support is very key. Support system for the parents. What other things do you think parents now need to put in place, for them to be able, maybe not perfect all that the kids were doing when they were in a normal school, but at least be close to it?
Yes, the number one that I just mentioned is support. I think another thing is a schedule, a routine for the children and for yourself. For me, that's what is keeping my sanity. Apart from there's a schedule for my children at home with the support, because then I can focus with work. And then see, if you are a struggling parent and you're trying to get it together, because then I totally understand that getting together with, particularly if you have little children, that
Yes,
still need you.
toddlers.
First thing first is support. If you are, except you want to say, I don't want to work again, you can't have meetings. I'm not even talking about teachers anyway. You can't have meetings and then you have your toddler crying all over the place and all of that. You can't have that. So you need support for that particular child. Once you have that support in place, then you have a routine, a schedule. I have mine for my girls, and it's working great. I mean, there are some good days and some bad days, but that over time, because we have followed that particular schedule for almost a year, they also, and they're just 2 years, they also are falling into that routine. They know I'm in my room working, and I'm like, I say I'm going to work, and they know I'm going to get me bye-bye, because that as at now, they will say bye-bye, bye, see you later. So you need that. You need to have a routine and in a schedule, and that schedule includes feeding time, when they will go, when taking a nap, watching TV. You better put up in like a timetable sort of thing. And if your children are those that are learning online, I don't really advise any child younger than 4 to be online, because it's really is except to have somebody that will sit with that child, except you're sitting with your child. It's a waste of time. It's all the schools that are trying to make preschoolers learn online. I really don't know how they're doing. Teachers, I mean, I don't know how you're doing that, because it's typically a waste of time and energy for that child and for the child doesn't need that. What the child needs is to be engaged. Get materials at home. I have quite a number of materials at home as well. So I say free time. I say free play. Then where they will choose their play. I have structured play where they actually maybe reading, maybe they're building blocks, maybe they're playing with their dogs. You put the name to that part, or puzzles. Like even if it's 15 minutes they're spending there and somebody is watching them doing it, playing on their own. Put that on the schedule. And if your children are learning online and they have a timetable for that, give them breaks as well, maybe nap break or snack break or TV or something that they also are following the schedule. It will at least give you some respite, some time to think back and see what works, what doesn't work, and carry them along in the plan. Children can express themselves. Okay, Mom, I would like, let's talk about this. How can we make this work? You know, talk to the children. We are in a situation, you can't go to school. How can we make, let's reason together. How can we make it work? How can I support you? What can I do to help? What can I put in place for you? You need a better chair so that your back doesn't hurt you. Let's get them a chair, get them a workstation where they have a table and chair. I say I have to remind parents about that, because you have children that are slouching on the couch, lying on the bed. They're not good sitting positions that will enable the learning. It will help their back. So I say get a workstation, get a corner of the room, let the child feel that this is school. Not running all about the whole place and carrying laptop on the lap. It's not. So give them a bottle of water beside, give them their material, let them, what's the cost? Support them, encourage their learning, give them all they need to actually learn, that not that they are standing up, going to the bathroom, standing up, getting spoon, or getting pen, getting eraser, getting paper. There are children like that that are scattered. So help them be organized. Enough for them to say, I need a pen, I can pick it at my arms. I can pick it up. I've eaten in the morning. Actually, I've still not eaten breakfast. Yes, they're doing online lesson. It's not, just, help them succeed. Prepare them for their success. Enough that, okay, all they will not need is just to motivate themselves. And, I think I got through.
Thank you so much for that. And I think not even only for the students, not only for the children, even for everyone. Multinational companies that have foreigners, as staff, and we found out that we've seen a lot of jokes that people will do Zoom meeting and they've forgotten that they're on Zoom, and they will stand up. Sorry, like there was one that the guy was still in his boxers, and there was a girl that she forgot she was on Zoom call. She finished the Zoom call and she removed the wig and she got carried away. When her colleague called her name out and she had to rush back, different things. It shows that, like you said, it's like it's the world we live in now. Is either we accept it or we need to move on, and deal with it, and we need to have. I love the fact that there needs to be a routine. The support is very key. If you are blessed with such support, use every support that you have. If mommy is the one at home, or grandma or somebody, everyone have to come together as a family and see how we can make life easier for ourselves. We are saying now it's like as if family is all we need right now. It's the family we all need. It's support that we need. We all of us said it last year that we realized that with the COVID, that we realized that family is most valuable of everything about life. We realize that it's not about the parties, it's not about the cliques, it's about your family. So right now is another new year and we still have some of these challenges. So what do? We now continue with the same family, but now we'll now talk to ourselves that we need to move on. The times are changing, they are changing times. We need to move on, and everyone has to be a part of it. The father, the mom, if you're a widow, if you're a single mom, if you're a single dad, you must let the children know that this is where I can't do it up to. I'm not a superhero. Some parents don't want their kids to see their weaknesses. Please, Biko, let them see it. Let them see it. They have to be responsible to it. Well, everybody has a responsibility to do. Like my mom used to say that even a baby has responsibility. Your responsibility is to eat the food they give you as a baby. Eat and sleep. Let that be your own work. So every parent needs to let these kids realize that everybody has to be responsible. So like you said,
Yes,
I like
carry them along.
carry them along. Let them know
Seek
that
their advice if you
mommy
need.
is not a superhero. That is not a superhero. When you wake up in the morning, get what you need to get. Have your bath. You have a class for 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. You shouldn't be looking for eraser at 10 or for cleaner. Get all those things ready. I prepare your own food while your own is to sit down and learn. Learn is very, very important. Thank you, Tokwe, for that. And I like the fact that for toddlers, you also said that for toddlers, we online is not. I'm a mom of toddlers, so I know that one. It's not working. Not like we say, co work, it's not working at all. So like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
what at all,
yeah.
work, rara. So I got a lot of reading materials, puzzles and things to engage them, and I had to. Luckily, I was privileged to be able to get a teacher that comes in, and it was really like a relief, even if it's just 2 hours
I'm
of
sure you
a
can see the
day.
difference.
A big
Yeah.
when I was in the online, I was sitting down with them with the online, and it was like a struggle. It was just I had to cook, I had to I want to be. Even me, I was feeling for the teacher. They would just slouch. I'm tired. I'll put their head on their table. I want to sleep. I want to do that one. It's when will you finish? They'll even call the teacher's name. Miss Charity, have you not finished? They would just do funny things that they were not learning anything until when we now realized that okay, home teacher could help. And we get why she's not there. She gives them homework. I can still cope with that. Then we get activities to help them. So it's very key that we let everybody in the house know that there's a war out there, and we have right now is ourselves to battle the war out there, and our life must not stop. Life must move on. So whichever one a parent choose to have, whether it's the online or physical support, physical teacher, the kids must be they should be carried along, and they should be responsible for it as well. Don't kill yourself as a parent to see that you want to meet all. Like Tokwe said, you can't meet all. I like the fact that your babies are even toddlers and they know this is the mommy's time. I like the fact that you're telling parents, please note this. She mentioned that get them a table station, a reading table. You don't have to go and buy, please. Yes, you don't have to go and buy. Get a table and a chair. Give them a space in the corner of the house. Let them know this is reading time. If the school says
Yes, this
9
is
a.m.
your. This is,
1 p.m., this is your space. Be there for 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't call mommy within that period. Anything you need, talk to your teacher. Get all the materials you need at that time. Mommy too need to be at work. Everybody should still behave as if we are going out. Have your bath, by 7 a.m. The normal time is supposed to have your bath. Have your bath at that time. Prepare like you are going to office. I think we even did it at my house for a long while. Well, initially we were relaxed too for a month where my kids will have their bath around, very late. I wasn't so comfortable with that. So I went back to the normal timing. Even though they have to go back to sleep, I'm okay, but we'll have our bath as early as possible. And it really, really helped. And I think a lot of parents should note that as well. Let the
yeah.
normal continue, but now we are in a different
Let the
world.
routine continue.
Let
Yes.
the routine continue. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. So now let's round off with the activities. How do parents and the kids cope with physical activities like football, basketball, karate class, all those classes that they have. Now they can't have them anymore online. So what do you think parents can do?
Well, we are all locked down. It depends on how you want to. It depends on how ready you are to make your to have your children associate. We have very, worried parents that are, very finicky. They do not want anybody around them. They don't want around their children. They are very afraid of all the current situation. So it depends on how your parenting, heart is ready to. It depends if you are my husband or you are me. I'll just say that. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's especially my husband. I took my children. I took my children. I took my girls for immunization the other day to the hospital. And every thought of something you carry it takes the sanitizer, put on the hand. So I know that I'm not even, yes, if you are my husband, if you are that kind, or you are me that still can still take them outdoor, because we have a schedule, and one of the parts of the schedule is playing outdoor play. They need it. So, but yeah, just like I make sure that they are guided, they are in the confines of the compound, and they are at least running around, moving around. So if a compound is like that, they can play football on their own. But if you are the one that don't even open the door, so that's the problem here. It's not me. It's not what I would suggest. It's what that parent is willing to explore. What are you willing to explore as a parent? Okay, my child loves to play football, but they have been able to play football in school. Obviously, what are you willing to explore? How do you want that child? Would you mind the child playing the football in your house, your parlor, and break the TV? I don't know what you are willing to accommodate. Is what you're willing to accommodate that is really the question here. Yeah. How accommodating are you? What activity are you willing? But there are other activities that children are engaging in. My school, for example, we have our extracurricular online. Yes, I know it's extra screen time, but it's more screen time friendly. It's not lesson. It's not school. So they are doing public speaking, learning how to debate with each other. They are doing arts and craft. They're showing their work. They are doing dance. Learning to dance different kind of steps. And so they actually find it. They're doing STEM club. They're doing drama club. They just act like they love this thing. Children love anything that is play. And they are doing coaching and all of that. So we are engaging, we are trying to explore options that are online friendly, okay, and that is great. And I'll also add one more thing that we do in my school. We have this period we call happy hour. Guess what? That is like the best period for most students. Which period is your best period? They will say happy hour. Is happy hour a lesson? Is it a lesson? Is it happy hour? They say, what are we doing at happy hour today? And I think it depends on the teacher. For me, for example, I always make it so much fun. We do all sorts of games, all sort of talking. We just gist, and children love it because they love association. They want to chat with their friends. They want to say hello. They want to say, what are you eating? What are you? What They love all those things, and we have taken it so much away from them already. So it's just a time for them to socialize, to play games. They will just go onto one online game and we'll all log in together, and they all be playing and competing on that online game together. It's fun, it's great, it's awesome. Even I find so much joy in the happy hour because we talk. I say, tell me anything about yourself that nobody knows. You know that I have lost my tooth or something like that. Just silly things, and it's fun for them. Yeah.
That's lovely. I think like you said, that got me, that we've taken a whole lot from them, and so any way that we need to let them have their childhood, because like Joe, these kids are going to celebrate another birthday this year. Most of them missed their birthday celebration last year. Now they missed another online. So we must try as much. Most of us, our childhood was fun. We still talk about it all the time, that we did this play, we did that fun game, we did tire, all those fun games. They missed 9 months, and we shouldn't allow it to continue for 2021. Let's look for a way to help them have fun. As they learn, let them also have fun as much as they learn. It's very, very important that, like Tope said, they've lost so much already. So any way you need to let them relax. I know for the first 3 months that we're at home, my kids kept saying, when are we going to school? When are we going to school? I miss my friends, as small as they were. They were like, if you drive through in front of any school, they'll be like, is that my new school? Is that my new school? They meet it's so much. There was a time I went to shop at a small mini store, and that was when they were about to open schools again. And another woman answered that they're not opening it again. If you see the way the kids of the owner of the shop were crying, no, mommy, they must open school. They must open school. I'm tired of this house. I want to go to school. One was particularly crying. About 3 girls. One was crying. He said, I'm tired. I want to go to school. I can't be seeing mom and daddy, only mom and daddy every day. I want to see people. I want to see people out there. I'm tired. She was crying. Her mom was so shocked. Her mom was like, is it this serious? Yes, it's serious. I'm tired. I can't be seeing you every day. And I moved her to Olga and be like, don't worry, we'll open school again. All of us, like you said, motivation, talk to them, pep talk and all. And as much as elderly ones are feeling it in maybe in our pulse, they are feeling it more emotionally. They're feeling it more emotionally, and we need to help them because they don't understand what's going on. Yeah, they know it's so difficult. They know there is COVID. They know it's transferable. They know all that, but they don't understand why it needs to stop their lives. They don't get it. We get it, and we should be able to help them. Thank you so much, Dr. Thank you so much, Mrs. D, for coming. Learn so much from you. I need to have a recap of all the things you said, and every parent needs to know. And even as a teacher as well, you taught us the things that teachers can do to engage the kids, online, that might be seem so difficult for us. And like let me just say this last one before I'll let you go. For the less privileged children, the children in low income communities, these are the things that you just mentioned that could also help them. If you're a teacher in such schools, if teachers in public schools, try and find creative ways to help these children. Don't just limit it to, I just need to teach and move on, please. Mrs. D is too, she mentioned that even for, she's teaching in a paid school and all that, and she still has to improvise, has to do things for the kids that could not catch up. She said that sometimes you might even have to do calls to their parents, or visits, and try and have a one-on-one chat with such kids. I think same should go for teachers in public schools. Please, we understand the plight that you have, but your own money didn't stop. Private school teachers, their own school salary stopped. Some even got paid only half. Some didn't get all the welfare packages they were getting. But for public schools, their money didn't stop. They were still collecting their money, and I think it would be fair. It won't be too hard to ask that. Try and make a little move for these kids. If you are in their neighborhood and you can try and reach out to them, do a group study. Some people were doing it, and massive thank you to all the teachers in low-income communities that were reaching out to children, trying to have a group study for these children. I know of a lady that went out, shared exercise books, and were given to these poor children, and she had lessons per week. Every week she was giving them homework to do. Every week she was going to each house, to give them homework to do, just to let the children know that education is still ongoing. It shouldn't stop. And if you're if you're in public schools, please try. Your salaries are still ongoing, and I think you owe all those parents a little, just a little, not asking for too much, to try and share with them that little knowledge that you can still give. Please don't let us know that these children, because the gap in education now is so wide. It's so wide, and we're not able to bridge the gap, but we can do the little that we can do. Thank you so much, Dr. What last words do you have for parents and for teachers before you go, and for school owners too? I know it's been a trying time for a lot of them. What were the last words you have for them?
For teachers, from my colleagues, I would say just hang in there. Do what you can. Be happy. I mean, do it with so much joy and gusto. It's passion that making us here. So just enjoy the work. I know it's hard to do so, but enjoy it. Enjoy. What keeps me going as a teacher is the fact that I can actually, the children, I can spark up an interest in the child. The little conversations we have here and there, the very light jokes that we make, very keeps me going amongst all the work. So for teachers, hang in there. The children are looking up to you for encouragement. They're looking at your faces. They're reading your facial expression. They want to know that you are happy, you are smiling, you're encouraging them. They hang on to every word. So just encourage them like that. For parents, like it is, for my mantra as a parent is, I win or I win. Like, I don't have any other choice. I no complaints. I think if we complain so much and talk about the negative, you will not see the positive. You need to be thankful. You need to think of what you are grateful for life. The fact that you can actually even learn. You have the ability to learn. You have the resources to send into school. Let's look at our environment and see that, okay, this is what, face the reality. This is the reality. We are not going to school yet. We are staying at home. Let me make it work. It's like encourage yourself in the Lord, or encourage yourself in that for this new. That's my advice to parents, and support and work with your children's teachers. Work with them. Don't fight them. Work with them. Talk. Have conversation. Collaborate. That's what we call it. Collaboration. Collaborate with with your children's teachers. Let them know if there's any concern, if you have any, relate with them. I think somebody that wants to talk to me, I mean, with their issues, I will listen. I may I may not know everything, but I will listen as well. For school owners, the end is in sight. My prayers go with you people. I honestly don't know how a school owner is going to. I totally understand how it is. I really pray that you just have a plan. I don't know, a plan to do what, I don't know. I just feel that you need a plan. You need to map out a plan. If you cannot be your teachers, let them know. You know, God be with you.
They should communicate too. They should communicate.
Communicate, yeah. Communicate with your parents, with your stakeholders as much as you can. Lay the cards on the table. Be honest about it. You know, and very soon we shall all go back to our normal life.
Thank you so much, Mrs. D. Thank you for being on the show. I just had to drag you. You know, it was impromptu, but you know, you might get. I always bully Mrs. D. I bully her. She's tired of me, but you know, she got no choice. So thank you, Mrs. D. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm grateful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pleasure to work with you. And I say thank you. God bless you, darling. Thank you so much. My love to Key, my love to Tiara and Tife. And Mr. Gio, we see you, sir. Salute. Thank you for staying. Thank you. See you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tope. God bless you. Bye. Bye. Thank you, everyone that came online. We had a very beautiful discussion on how parents can change, parents and teachers with the challenging times, you know, with so much going on. Should we let the kids' education stop? No, it can't stop. And we understand the challenge, most importantly, from the school owners. I feel so much for the school owners. It's one business I know is capital intensive, and it takes a long time to even get the money back. It takes a very long time, you know, sometimes 5 years, sometimes 10 years, based on what they invest. And if you want good education with good facility, with good, you know, teachers, it doesn't come in coins. These are every you know, project. And I feel for the school owners, and I pray that God will compensate you all back. I know it's so much paying for utilities that you're not using, and parents to, you know, parents to have their own challenges. Some of them are being paid half of salaries, so they might not be able to pay school fees, and some are, and now you can't even pay your teachers, which is never like you. So I think all you need to do, most importantly, is number one, beyond the spiritual of, you know, trusting God to turn things around for everyone all over the world. It could communicate, like Mrs. D said, communicate with your teachers, communicate with the parents, let everyone feel they are part of your business. It will be easier for those that have been doing this before. Deem if it to carry their parents or teachers along. But if you have been doing, if you have not, you can start. The teachers why you might not be able to pay that much, but please try and pay them something. They have families too as well. I know it's hard. I know you're wondering where the money come from. Some parents are still very considerate, and that's why you need to treat your parents like your customers, like it's say customers are king. Please talk to the parents. I know a lot of parents. I am a parent, and I will definitely understand if you share with me reasons why I need to pay. You have teachers. I paid when it was time for me to pay. I paid, you know, for the classes I did, because I didn't want to do the classes because my kids were really small. But I did them because of the teachers, because I know they needed to be paid. And it would be so unfair that parents would pay, you know, out of their own struggles too, and you would not do the same to your teachers. It wouldn't be nice. It won't be nice at all. So I think everybody should be happy at the end of the day. School owners, talk to parents, see how you can try and get a few money from them, blackmail them, emotional blackmail, do all the things that you want to do. But it's also important that you let them know. And of course, teachers, please, if you have other options of getting your sources of income, homeschooling is available. Try and do mass schooling. I don't know how you do it, but try and find a way. Online teaching. Some people now teach Yoruba. Some people teach Igbo. The things that parents were not doing before. Some people are now trying to put it in. Please do that. Not trying to see how to beg online. No, you are more than that. Teachers are dignified people. I respect teachers. I honor teachers. I hold them so much in high esteem. I don't joke with teachers because I know what you do is a huge huge service to humankind, and I need you to respect it as well. So don't go online begging for things. Try and see what you can do to put food on the table. You have skills as well. I am not teachers that do tailoring, that make hair, and so many wonderful things that teachers can do. Teaching online, teaching languages that are not so common. So try all those. And for we parents, God will help us. Yes, God will help us. It's challenging, it's difficult, but we will scale through by the grace of God. So let's not give up on our kids. Let's see ways that we can try to, identify their personalities. Like Mrs. Dee said, some kids are very, very hyper. They like sitting for long. Some don't like sitting. So understand the personality of your child and see how you can support them in whatever ways that you do. God bless everyone. I am saying it again. 2021 is our year of reward, and I'm 100% sure that God never fails and his words never fall to the ground unless he does what it has been sent to do. God has sent his word, that is our year of reward, and he will reward us. Yes, for all the losses, for all the pains, the Lord will give us double rewards in Jesus' name. Like we say on the show every day, the day you wake up to your dreams is your morning, so run with it and don't give up. Please join me again next week on Aderonke Live Show on Facebook, and the repeat will be on YouTube. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe Aderonke Onipeti on YouTube. And tomorrow I'll be having a physical class training for everyone that wants to start an NGO or that are very started, but you just need to, improve more on what you do. Training for online marketing the week after, that's January 30th, for financial literacy for those in businesses. Check us on ACOMS Media on Facebook or Instagram for all the trainings we have for the month of January. And also for February, we'll be posting for trainings for February. So this is another year to develop ourselves, our businesses, and to try and see what other sources of income we can have. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a fantastic evening. My regards to the family, and please stay safe. COVID is real. It's not a joke. Please stay safe. Use your face mask, sanitize your hands, and please, if you don't have to go to crowded places, avoid them. And if you need to, please take caution and take the protocols of COVID very, very important. For those that are fighting it right now in hospitals, we pray for healing, we pray for restoration, and we say no more death in Jesus' name. All over the world, we pray for healing in America, in UK, all over the world, in Nigeria, everywhere. Lord, have mercy and heal our lands in Jesus' name. Thank you all for joining me. Have a lovely evening. Bye.